Well, I'm back at Orchard Place Farm. It's Wednesday the 30th of March. Managed to get a day off work. I've headed down to Orchard Place Farm really because just after a bit of action. Life's still pretty hectic, so not fishing a lot. Not at all really. Once a month's probably about all I can manage. I can just see a fish bubbling over there. So I've come down for a bit of action. I didn't know really which lake to start with. I had hoped to get on Lake 7, but I've had a look at it and I'll show it you in a minute. It's fairly barren at the moment, being a fairly new lake. There's quite a few people on it, and I really didn't fancy it. Lake 4, top there. Lake 4. There's quite a few guys on there, so I didn't fancy that. So I've dropped in here at Lake 3. There's no one on it. Okay, it's small. I know none of the purists would appreciate me for fishing here, but oh well, I've got 24 hours to catch a few fish. There's no one on here. Got the lake to myself. Rods are out. It's just gone 11. I've got one rod positioned just off that island just to the left, and to the same island but down to the right in line with those reeds I've got another bait, and also just down this margin where I did see a fish show just off those reeds I've got a bait. Been fortunate enough just to have a bit of time to make up some of my homemades. 18 mils, 14 mils barrels, and after the success with the boilies the last time, that's what I'm sort of sticking to this time. So the rods are in. If you're watching this, it means I had some action. Fingers crossed. It's quite mild, cloud. It's been warm the last few days. Well, for the last couple of weeks really, it's really warmed up. I was at Bedgebury Forest yesterday, Pinetum, and there's a couple of lakes there, and I was having a walk around that Marshall's Lake, really clear, but there's a couple of carp in there, and they were moving around really, really quite actively. So late March now, the fish are on the move. I'm sure I've just seen one set fizz up over there now, so quite hopeful, and fingers crossed. Cheers. Well, for those of you who are interested, this is Orchard Place Farm, Lake 7. I better go back to my rods because I can hear the bailiff coming. Now, well, here's one of the locals. Oh, if you don't get your ticket, I set this dog on you. Right, first hour's passed. Just had a cup of tea, so that was nice. I have seen a fish show. It was only a small fish, not even a double probably, and it's quite still out in front of me, and I am able to pick up the odd little flurry of bubbles. So I'm hopeful. It's just nice to be here, relaxing, taking it easy. I'm not going to get the bivvy up or anything yet. I have a slight hope if I can nick a couple of quick fish. Maybe I don't know. I might have if I can get a couple of quick fish here, I might move on to Lake 7 before dark. supposed to be a few big ones in there. We'll see what happens. Alright, well it's 1:30. My idea about not putting the house up ended with the arrival of the rain, and to add to the challenge then now, I've had beeps and twitches on every single rod, on all 3 rods, middle rods. Saw rise, drop back 1/2 inch, left hand rod, a couple of beeps, and the right hand rod now, that's just seemed to have quite a vicious little stutter. So I can't help but think that my rigs aren't working properly. The only thing that I can really think of now is I think my hairs might have been a bit long. My hairs might have been a bit long on my rigs. And even the rigs themselves were getting on 12 inches. So what to do? I'm tying up some fresh rigs now, shortening the hair back a bit. I think I'm going to balance critically balance them a bit more, so the baits shoot up a little bit faster. And do I put on some running leads just to give them perhaps a bit of a different sort of problem than what they're used to? I don't know, stay tuned. Well, 4:15, nothing to report. Rain stopped. And things are calmer, but there's been little action, and I'm gutted. I don't know why. I expected things to be a bit faster. Whole lake to myself. Tries to be nice and quiet. And now you're at that sort of place. Do I chop it around, chop and change, or just stick? See this? You won't be able to see that, but there's some little bits of bubbles coming up. I think I'm just going to stick. It's 4:15, a couple hours, and we'll be heading into prime bite time. And I'll just gently keep trickling the baits on the spots. Throw any fish visiting, then they can get used to it, and hopefully that'll see the results for a bit later. Right, it's 5:30, and it's not good news, ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I don't feel very well. I've just had an hour's kit, but woke up feeling not much better, but oh well. The good news is that for the second time today, I've seen a nice head and shoulders of a carp come up over there. Came up twice, wasn't coming out, just head and shoulders. And in light of the fact that we're 6.5 hours in, the messing about has stopped, the single bleeps have stopped. I've got some fresh rigs tied up, combi rigs, some homemade snowman style. I'm going to get these out, one just to the left of the island, one just to the right of the island. I'm going to put one out, lower it where I've seen that fish head and shoulder, so fingers crossed. Right, well it's 6 o'clock, and I think I'm the happiest that I've felt all day. I've got 3 really good drops on putting the rods out, just a handful of baits around, and the rods that I brought in, they were all fishing, so there's no weed problems, no tangles. So these rods are staying out now. until the morning, or unless I have a fish. Wish me luck. Bottoms up. Well, that's typical, isn't it? Here I am dying, wondering whether I'm going to puke or start shivering any minute. I feel awful. As I'm lying there in my deathbed, it feels like bloody middle rod's away, innit? I've gone and got one. See if I can get you some sight of it. Right, well, come on, Chunky. There you go. That's 16.5 pound of Orchard Place Farm mirror, and it's a lot nicer fish than the one out of Lake 4 that I had, and apparently these are the older fish here. Calm down. Calm down. Come on, give us your fin. Give us your pecky, come on. That's the other side. I'll tell you what, it feels a lot heavier than 16.5. Oh, that's what the scale said. Beautiful. Let's get it back. Well, right everyone, it's about 6:30. That was the most awful night I've ever had. I think I was delirious most of the night. I don't know what's the matter with me. I just felt gut-wrenching sick, and just had these like dreams going over and over in my head. I don't feel too special this morning, and last night when I was a bit conscious of what was going on, I was just praying for no action, and fortunately or unfortunately my prayers got answered. So I've only got a few hours left, so I feel a little bit better since waking up. Just seen a fish come out there over that far side. So reeds. So anyway, I've got a refresh of the rods on, and we'll see how we get on. Well, you couldn't have asked for a nicer morning for carping. Clearly a weather front coming through. It's really mild. Come on, rods, don't let me down. Alright, well, it's getting on 9 o'clock now, so I've only got about an hour and a half left. Unfortunately, another 5 guys have turned up on this lake. Well, it's only a small lake, and another 15 rods gone in, so I think my chances of bagging another have slipped away, possibly. I'm a bit disappointed in our fish, really. I think coming here with the intention of just boilie fishing may have been a bit of a mistake. Should have been a bit more varied, I think. I know I had a fish, but I just feel that the conditions, I had the lake to myself. I know I've been ill, but I think I could have done better. But yeah, there you go. And that's life. Well, there's a little bit more time left. You never know, and if there's nothing else, then see you next time. Cheers.